Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Elizabeth, the producer of the 20th Outage Response and Restoration Management Conference to be hosted this October 28th and 29th online and fully engaged. This event will bring together utility executives that oversee T&D operations, emergency management, and similar to share lessons learned, tools and tactics, and best practices on incident and storm response, as well as strategies to reduce the likelihood and duration of outages. With me today is one of our speakers for the event, Timothy Hayes, with a BS in Industrial Engineering from Clarkson University and his MBA from Union College. Tim began his career at Central Hudson Gas and Electric as a junior engineer, and after many different engineering and managerial positions, today, Tim holds the position of Senior Director of Emergency Preparedness within Central Hudson Gas and Electric. With many years under his belt, he has offered his time with us to answer a few questions regarding his participation in our event. Tim, thank you so much for having this interview with me, and I appreciate being able to share our discussion today.
I'm glad we can spend a couple minutes together this afternoon, Elizabeth.
And with that, we'll just dive into the questions. So you are guiding a discussion titled Prioritizing Restoration to Orchestrate Harmonized and Efficient Outage Response Efforts. What can attendees expect from joining this discussion?
Oh, I hope that we can all get together and discuss the types of things that we all face during major interruptions in our systems, including the different priorities that we have to face when we're trying to decide how to restore normalcy to the community and get the lights back on to everybody. I hope that it's an interactive process, that we can all be engaged, and that we have some different technologies we're going to use to try to keep it that way, and I hope that it's educational for everybody.
Yes. So what is one way that Central Hudson Gas and Electric helps to align numerous priority lists into one?
Well, I think the key that we found is that you have to have a plan. It can't be something that you make up on the fly in the middle of emergency. It's got to be something that you've documented, that you put thought into, that you put down on a piece of paper, and that you've trained people how to respond that way. There's a very long, involved process that goes into preparing for an emergency well before the emergency itself actually takes place. So the one big takeaway is you have to have a plan to make it work.
And how have your priorities during outage response changed since COVID-19, if at all?
Oh, I think they certainly have. But I would also say that priorities change continuously. Not just because of COVID, but COVID is certainly the thing that is taking the spotlight now. Probably one of the easiest examples is if you'd asked me a year ago if restoring COVID testing sites was a priority. Of course not. Nobody even heard of COVID a year ago. But now, obviously, it's something that is critical to keeping the society as a whole healthy and fit. So now that rises to a very high level of priority, especially in some communities. Whereas there's certainly other things that have changed, and as restorations go. You can think of trying to do restoration in the middle of November, when it's time for polling season or for people to vote. The polling places become high priority, whereas a town hall or the basement of a church or wherever happens to be your polling place may not have been a priority any other day of the year. For that one day of the year, it becomes a high priority of something that has to be thought about when you're restoring power to an area. So yes, I think things have changed during COVID, but you always have to be aware of what's going on in the community and the surroundings to know how to make sure your priorities are accurate.
Yeah, that's very true. It makes a lot of sense. So you are also joining in a discussion with National Grid on navigating the external communication of restoring service after an unexpected gas or electric delivery outage. What would you say is the hardest individual move that in that chain, and how would you respond to that challenge?
Well, there's obviously lots of challenges you have, especially when the event is unexpected. But I think probably one of the more difficult situations that you have to handle could be the loss of more than one facility within your community. For instance, if you're the electric utility and you're responding to electrical outages, that's a difficult challenge. But when you have to respond to it without communications because the communication system has been impacted by the same emergency situation, that becomes a very much larger challenge. As all emergency managers or all people in emergency management will tell you, communications are absolutely critical, both within your own company and within the community, and within the emergency management situation. You just need that type of communication. And if the outside communication network is failing or has failed, that makes your job as an emergency manager that's trying to restore electricity much more difficult.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Um, so, what are you most looking forward to in attending our 20th Outage Response and Restoration Management Conference?
Well, I can probably say that I've had the opportunity to work with Marcus Evans several times, and I can tell you without exaggeration, the most benefit that I've gotten from these conferences has been the interaction between the attendees at the conferences. And meeting the people, learning their situations, as well as sharing my own. And a number of the folks that I've met with and dealt with, I've come back to on numerous occasions after the meeting itself. And now I've got another person that I can fall back on and talk to about a situation when I know that they may have faced something similar. So I really hope that throughout this situation, we're able to exchange some thoughts and ideas, help to build up our connections with other folks that are in the same community and share the same issues and hopefully work towards solutions that are mutually beneficial for everybody at the conference.
Gosh, thanks. I love to hear that. And I'm really excited for this event, though we are, charting different waters nowadays. And we will be online. We have been able to reflect that interaction amongst our attendees on our online platforms. So I look forward to doing that with you, seeing you in our chat rooms and networking breaks, and anyone else who would like to join us for our event. It'll be a good one. So thank you so much again, Tim, for your time today. And I look forward to seeing you at the event.
I look forward to seeing you too.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Bye.